a day. There is no ASMR. It's just ASS. That's all you get when you come this way without a single R, dude. Like, it's just nice try, A for effort, but like
that's what I thought
on the Mascow's part. I just don't have it. I can't do it. I got no BB, no ASMR. I got nothing. I got 1, 2, 3. That's all I got. That's what I do.
Well, we'll leave it up.
Can you hear me on this one?
I can hear you on that one, yeah.
Switch to this one then.
All right, let's try this. All right, I'm
gonna do a quick switch here.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to grab. That's what they all of it.
my close up, Mr. Yager.
Now we've got to figure out how to get all of us in the picture.
We'll just have to.
The same ball as like the canister company, right?
Well,
like
well, and you know and you know like what the commentators call it, right? The ball arena. We call it the sack.
Get the hell out of here! No,
I swear to God, we call it the sack. I swear to God.
All right, I'm done.
That's it. Yeah. End the show, Johnny. Go raid somebody. We're good.
We call, I
On aircraft last week.
I'm glad. I was gonna say I'm glad Coastal gave that lady his 2 inches worth. I mean 2 cents worth. I'm sorry.
You got Marky bad. I love it. No, that lady, like, she wasn't even discreet about it. No, you can ask John. She, like, literally leaned over John's shoulder and looked at my phone.
2, 3, 4. I just wanted to keep counting the other way.
It's
John
Sunday.
counted us down. Now we can do the negative numbers: -1, -2, -3. Whatever. All right, fine. It wasn't funny. All right, I don't care. I don't even care right now. It doesn't matter. It's not funny. No laughing.
Why are you in such a... You're already fired up. What happened?
No laughing. You know what happened? You know what happened on Charged on Thursday? You know what has me concernicus to the Maximus? Okay.
What, Mark?
Do you know who we saw in a room together for the first time, all 4 in the same room?
Yeah, I did.
I am extremely concernicus to the Maximus for what we're doing here tonight and how you're doing since this. There's a lot that has happened in the last couple of days that we don't have a lot of time to unpack. I'm just more kind of just trying to stay ahead of it, bro. That's just trying to stay ahead of it.
It gave me hope. We'll talk about it later.
Hope's a bad thing. Hope's a horrible thing.
In that regard, yes.
Don't have hope, kids. Hope's a 4-letter word.
Anything is possible.
Hope is a 4-letter. Grizzly Adams did have a beard. Hey, there's a Charged champion in the chat.
Hey, we're going to talk about him
on YouTube. What's up, buddy? Talk about him in a couple minutes. Hey, Johnny boy, how are you?
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
cool. Good talk, Coach. Good
gives
talk.
Gives me the warm and fuzzies.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, you know.
Maybe we should do some ASMR before we start the show.
Oh God, no! Maybe you should never do that again. No, maybe you should never do that. That sounded so wrong in my headphones.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Leave that to Coastal, please.
He just said. Oh, good God. And then there's this guy, feel welcomed, saying hi.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Does that mean he doesn't say you're welcome to many people? Like,
yeah. Probably.
He says it to me all the time. For whatever reason.
What is that? I think that's more of an indictment on you than it is.
No, I'm just making an observation, that's all.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying that's a little weird.
Am I not allowed to make an observation?
No, you're absolutely.
It's just weird to those not making your observation.
yeah, we're wondering what you're looking at.
I'm looking
You're
at...
the last guy who should talk. We're wondering what you've been looking at for years. For years. We've
I
been
got
wondering.
To see it again. I got to see it again.
And I'm sure you'll see it again and again and again. They're basically throwing the hot dog in front of you until
Doing a good job.
until they swipe it away at the end. We'll get into that and everything else. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Dudes and Bells Recharge here on Twitch, YouTube, and Rumble. We got ourselves a jam-packed show, and by I mean jam-packed, I mean holy cow, we got some surprises for you today. Before we get into everything, let's introduce the panel. On the top left, he is the one that lives way up there on the east coast of Maine. He is the one and only Eagles, the Crusader.
What's going on, everybody? Yeah, I'm in a great mood from what we got to see. It was like a family reunion, guys. It felt great. I got the warm and fuzzies. They said the name a couple times. Oh, I'm so excited to talk about that. And that tag match. That was a big tag match for both teams. We'll talk about it.
On the top right, he is your resident masshole himself, the one and only referee, Mikey Benz.
You weren't kidding, John. We got a return. We have action. We have a big main event. Dak Draper versus Dustin Urich. Anaya and Dak having some words out in the parking lot. And Turbo Tony's kind of on the hunt for some gold. We might get to that in a little bit of a short while.
Mm-hmm.
And on the bottom, he is your resident encyclopedia of Rocky Mountain Pro. He is a journalist. He is a commentator. And we did not have to hear him bitch about Slade once during the episode. The one and only Gus Bradwell.
You know, I'm just gonna roll with it. I'm gonna take what I can get. Take any small victories. So let's have a good show, fellas. Let's show everyone out there why they should be tuning in to the Dudes each and every week for that expert analysis. Let's do it right here tonight.
That was beautiful de-escalation of a situation that did not need to be escalated. That was well done.
It wasn't even a situation to begin with. Again,
You almost made it.
observations, boys.
The observationist, Johnny Detrop.
And
Correction. Barely a journalist. That's what Reyes says.
Whoa.
No, I didn't say that. I gave you a little bit of respect there.
Barely a human being in Eric Reyes, so.
Right. But at least he acknowledged that you are a journalist.
That is true.
He did.
All right. Let's kick things off here with a Charge Championship match. Of course, we have Rayo going up against Caden Koyama.
What a great, fast, high-paced match. I usually Coastal Crusader gets the first match of the show, but I offered to trade the tag match because this one, Caden Koyama is very quickly becoming the stud of Rocky Mountain Pro. He's very quickly going out there and making everybody kind of pay attention that this is how you defend a title. This is how you hold a title with some honor. You can tell, and Lucas, you even said it on commentary, that there was some familiarity between Rayo and Caden Koyama, right? And it very much showed in the match. The match was very, very 50-50. Rayo gets the quick advantage. Man, these guys started hot and heavy, running around like crazy and just ducking each other. Rayo does get that first advantage, and then, my God, those chops on the outside and the outside work by Rayo. But we've talked about this week in and week out, and this is another example of how Koyama wins. Not just defends, not just gets by, but this is how he wins. He's adaptable. On Charge this past week on Thursday, we saw him not go to the quickness, not necessarily go to the experience. He went to the straight power all of a sudden. The hard avalanches, the whips, the leg drops, the drop kicks. He just turned on the power button. And I think that was a very smart move because Rayo, obviously a little bit of a faster opponent here, ground and pound. And Koyama went right to that reverse chin lock and just really kept Rayo down. And this is the most impressive Pop Boys. We talk about it every week. It's a different way. It's a different situation. And at the very end, it's, again, Koyama paying mind. This is where the XP comes in. Rayo goes for the big sunset flip. and Koyama blocks it, just kind of kneels down on his shoulders and gets the 1-2-3. And you could even tell that Rayo thought he had it. He thought he had it control for a while in this match, and he did. But this is what a lot of people have been walking out of the ring saying, Coastal and Lucas, I had that match. I had it in my pocket. But then out of nowhere, Caden hit me with the fill in the blank. And he's still walking out with that Charge champion, and the experience, the power, the know-how. He is the complete champion.
Yeah, I mean, I say it every week. No one has an in-ring IQ right now higher than Caden Koyama's. I mean, you will have to wrestle a 100% flawless match to ever even have a chance to take the title off. Because any mistake you make right now, his vision is like, 2010, if you will, in that ring. He sees the holes. He sees the holes in your offense, and he's just waiting. Like, we've seen him take a beating a number of times. We've seen him be in a lot of physical matches. It just seems like Lucas right now, Caden understands there are certain things that are going to happen to you in the ring. And it's weathering those things to find the one. You don't need to hit, the big finisher every time. He's just finding ways to win and opportunities to win.
Well, we're all big sports fans here, and what always has made kind of separates the legends from just the really good athletes is the fact that in clutch time, when things are really close in a game, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, it's those legendary moments that happen where you're just able to weather the storm, and then you find an opportunity and you make that big play. Well, that's what Caden Koyama does in the wrestling ring. He gets the absolute best from every opponent now, because they know whoever is facing Caden Koyama has to bring their A+ game. They have to bring absolutely everything that they possibly have in their arsenal. That's what Rayo did. Rayo brought everything. I've seen quite a few Rayo matches. Rayo Plateado is well known in the Lucha Libre scene here in Colorado. He's known as one of the best, if not the best, luchador in the state of Colorado. And he brought it to Caden Koyama. But it was Caden's ability to just kind of weather that assault, weather the storm, find an opportunity, and in the clutch moment, do what was necessary to come out on top. That's kind of been what has defined this title reign, is that he takes the absolute best from every opponent and then finds one opportunity, capitalizes, and is able to walk out victorious once again. Caden will continue to get the best from every opponent, and what he's got to worry about is that there's gonna be people coming from out of the woodwork wanting that Charge championship. We're talking, people from all over the United States are now hearing about this title reign. We get a lot of people from out of state, and they want a shot at Caden Koyama. Well, there's going to be a lot of people that he's not going to have any film on it. He's not going to have familiarity with, and that's going to present a challenge. He's done pretty good with that so far against some of his opponents, but that's going to continue moving forward.
All right, there was a brief interaction between Big Daddy Mo and C-Rex. Now, let's not forget, C-Rex is currently suspended indefinitely. We don't even have a time frame for her return as of right now, but there is definitely some threats thrown in Big Daddy Mo's way. What do you think is going to happen in this situation as we head towards Shocktober?
I mean, I think Mo does need to be concerned with, Big C-Rex. Anything can happen. She's unpredictable. That's why she's suspended at the moment. But really, you have to try and put that out, and you got to focus. You got a title you want to go win. You need to focus on the task at hand. And as hard as it is, Marky, to ignore someone that threatens you the way C-Rex does, I honestly think Mo needs to worry about that bridge whenever she comes to it.
I completely agree. This is going to be like one of those skeletons that comes back to haunt you from the past for a long time. I don't think the C-Rex Big Daddy Mo thing is over, especially gauged by the interaction and by C-Rex's aggression. during it saying that, this is not over. I'm coming back for you. There is beef here. This is going beyond just good-natured competition for a Lockett's championship. There is definitely beef here between these two alphas right in the yard. Mo goes out there. That's her yard. C-Rex has gone out there and basically been all but untouchable. Literally all but untouchable. So these two astonishing, powerful forces, Lucas, are going to eventually have to meet, but it's got to be to a point where Mo gets the priorities straight. She's got to stay forward in this match at Shocktober for the title, and then C-Rex can be dealt with at another time. But right now, Mo needs to keep her eyes on that prize.
I agree with you, but the problem is it may not be up to Mo. C-Rex may just interject herself and maybe try to get a piece of Mo before it happens. Does Mo want to get a piece of C-Rex? Absolutely. But C-Rex wants to absolutely destroy Big Daddy Mo. And we know that if C-Rex wants something, she's more than likely going to get it. And so that would be the issue, is whenever C-Rex wants to get herself a piece of Big Daddy Mo, it's going to happen. And let's hope that for Big Daddy Mo's sake, it is at an opportune time and it doesn't cost her any opportunities for getting that Lockett's title back.
What do we have going on over here in the chat right now? Who's going back and forth over here? Hunter again?
Hunter with few welcomed.
And Sonny is like
Hunter and Reyes.
And Sonny Flores, our new ring announcer, has decided he wants to kind of take some shots at me. I've been pretty well behaved, and now he wants to take some shots.
I'm gonna get Lucas an encyclopedia bubble like the Pope Mobile has. All these shots coming at him.
Yeah. I don't know how I disappointed him. I mean, I'm sure his parents are disappointed of him, but I don't know how I disappointed him.
So while you guys were chit chatting,
Lucas won. Sonny nothing. Sorry.
While you guys were chit chatting, we do have, on top of our surprise, which I thought about announcing, but I think we're gonna wait until that someone pops in later on in the show. So we'll hold that as a surprise. But I will say that as of right now, card subject to change, of course, we plan on having Marcio Santos October 19th.
Oh.
So that is what I am working on currently at the moment.
Can you let us know if you're dealing with any of his, perhaps an employer by the name of Preston? Because, we're wondering if he's law office. So if you're talking about that, maybe you're talking to, or are you not at liberty to say?
I'm not at liberty to say as of right now, because I have done my own independent journalism from time to time. You can get the answer from him on October 19th. That'd be a couple weeks after Shocktober. So
I think I'll lead with that question. Can I go first, guys?
No. And if you don't know why, see the Ronin interview.
Yes, that is on, I think, my personal Twitch channel. Because I don't think we were streaming on RMP at that time.
No, I think we were still on Johnny Death Drops.
Yeah, I think we were.
So it's still there. Who's got the TV going on over there? Looks like Lucas, because you're the one that's glowing right now.
No, my TV shouldn't be here. You're probably hearing somebody in the background.
Possibly. Where are we now? Oh, yes. You guys were talking about Turbo Tony and his conversation with Caden. And, Tony might have a little bit of a gripe. He's been on a little bit of a roll as of late. Haven't seen him in a lot of matches recently, but in the few matches that we have seen him wrestle in, he has picked up a W. So he's going for some gold here in RMP, and obviously he's going to have to wait a little bit because Preston decided to show his face and say that Dylan Anderson has a shot against Caden, which that should be a good Charge Championship match coming up.
I definitely agree.
Yes.
Preston has ways of pulling these strings and making sure that the red tape stretches extra far
But
for his
Caden,
wants, needs, and desires.
But Caden came up with an alternative solution for Tony's situation, and here comes Two Dame into the fold.
Yo, he was just sitting in the photo booth chilling. You by yourself in there? Taking pictures with the title and the cup? Come on now. What are you doing? What are you
I mean,
doing right
is Two Dame okay? Like, Southside's been absent. He seems really upset when he's trying to, call about his Ignition Championship. Like, I don't think
Seems
all
like
is right in Two Dame land.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
on edge, like wicked.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have been catching the latest episodes of Ignition, but he's been hanging out in his old beat up car with 4 flat tires and trying to get away from everyone. There's something going on with Two Dame, and he's trying to be a journalist too. I'll try not to go too much into that. But
Well, it looks like
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Well, it looks like there was at least 2 or 3 journalists on this episode because we did. Yeah, we had Anaya, of course, doing his thing back there with his phone, and Trina was actually doing a little bit of journalism off to the side.
And Lucas, if you noticed, didn't say one bad thing about Trina, so I never want to hear this Lucas hates women's crap ever again.
No,
ever again.
No, I gotta give him credit. Well, first off, I wasn't the one that said that Lucas hated women to begin with, so that never left
that
my
did
mouth.
not come from here. That was Preston's little errand boy.
That did not leave
guys.
my mouth.
Right.
But yeah, so yeah, there was quite a bit of journalists during this episode. We'll talk about the Anaya Draper one once we get to the main event. But speaking of someone who was in the chat currently, there was definitely an interaction between Chopper City and Cease and Desist as they got a match coming up very soon.
You do?
Cease and Desist just poking it. They're poking that bear. They're walking up to Chopper City. You're never going to see these belts. And this is as close as you're ever going to get. I understand the confidence. I can respect it and like it. And yeah, they're going to hang with Chopper City. We've seen it. But we've also seen that when it comes down to it, Chopper City is very much deeper in the bag of XP tricks than Cease and Desist is. We saw them have to go to where there was some referee stuff going on when they, got that title, and we've seen all that stuff. So I don't necessarily know if this is something Cease and Desist should celebrate this early, Coastal, or walk up and talk this much smack before the scoreboard's even turned on yet. I know this is something we see out of some of the young ones. Cease and Desist have backed it up. But do you really always just go to the biggest dogs in the yard and start that smack?
I mean, hey, if you're that confident, and I really think they are. I think they are that confident. They have reason to be. Guys, this is going to be one of the greatest tag team matches we have seen. In a
This is the earliest I think Mark has had a code yellow.
I just see these two guys. This is kind of like, it's always, people say it's harder to defend the titles than it is to win the titles. So yes, they use some trickery to win them, but they still have them. Now we see how much Cease and Desist has grown. We know they talk it. Now let's just see if they can, back it up. And I got to agree with Mark Lucas. I really think this comes down to XP, and Chopper City always has something you just can't count on.
It's true. They have that it factor. They have that special ingredient that made them so great. But this is, I gotta choke down the vomit that's coming in my mouth because I'm gonna say something good about Cease and Desist right now. But they have figured out a way to kind of combat all that special ability of Chopper City. They have figured out a way, whether or not we agree with the tactics, whether or not we think that it's moral or whatever, that doesn't matter to them. They just figure out a way to win. And they have figured out that special combination of being able to overcome Chopper City and all the crowd getting behind Chopper City. That's been them showing how far they've came. They really have come a long ways as a tag team. Cease and Desist. Absolutely no doubt about it. The way that they work together, and the way that they get along, it kind of mimics a lot that we see in Chapa City, or that we have seen in Chapa City for the past couple of years. They have some of that same special bond and that same special stuff that we've seen out of JK Pop over the years. So they have something special brewing in Cease and Desist. There's no doubt about it. So we're going to see if everything that they've done to build up this team over the past year, if that's going to be enough to stave off this this extra try from Chapa City to get their tag team titles back. We're going to see. And we'll see exactly how special Chapa City is, because if they win, they will be the first ever 3-time Rocky Mountain Pro Tag Team Champions.
And I think they have the greatest shot of winning if it stays a one team versus one team match. There are always going to be those extra side things that just happen to happen. But Chopper City is also smart. They have plans. They're one of those teams that's come out. We've said it many times. When you come out, there's plan A, plan B, plan C. Well, we've also seen that when people come out and wrestle against the law office, they also need plan D, E, F, and G just in case, because it ends up going downhill and deteriorating fast more often than not. But I think Chopper City is going to be the team that's going to be able to get past that, rally around each other, because they are, you're right, Lucas, they're very similar to Cease and Desist, but just many years later, many XP point levels later, many more tag team combos later, many more wins later. And that kind of confidence can only be bred with experience. And I think that's why Chopper City has to be a favorite against Cease and Desist.
You do what you got to do to win, boys.
It's true. It's true.
Found a way to do it. All right. I remember me and brother being young and cocky. Cease and Desist got a whooping coming from Chopper City, says your reigning charge champion.
I agree.
Well, could be. Very well could happen.
Speaking
But
of
what happens after that whooping, whether or not they win the match, that's the giant question mark. Everything.
Speaking of tag team matches, okay, Lucas, I understand that there's a game going on, man. Relax.
I just saw the hit. I just saw a Cowboy absolutely annihilate a Green Bay Packer. Oh my goodness.
Sorry,
Okay.
Coastal. Anyways. Speaking of tag teams, we had ourselves a doozy of a tag team match, boys. I actually sat down and enjoyed watching this match here. Your new starting lineup going up against the Reckless. Coastal, what do you got on this one, Mr. Tag Team?
This thing was awesome. I mean, this was one of my favorite tag matches I've seen on Charge this year. Two teams kind of at different points, but the same. They're both trying to climb the ladder. They're both trying to figure out how do they get up into that talk with Chopper City and Cease and Desist. And if you keep putting on shows like this, certainly the winning team is going to move up in the eyes, because these were championship level performances tonight. You know, we had our questions before about your new starting lineup. Are they working together? Can they? And yes, they do get off to a rocky start. You know, the offensive innovation that the Reckless has is crazy. That wheelbarrow splash, and then whatever the other one was after it, which was like the same like kind of partnered wheelbarrow, and then like they just snapped it. I think Camacho snapped Queso down into him it was like a super splash.
I love that. Yeah.
That was crazy. Like, I just looked at it like, this is nuts. And the back and forth, the ring awareness at one point, Queso drop kicks Camacho when he's getting ready to be World's Strongest Slammed by one half of your starting lineup. And it's just, the tag match itself was kind of like trading blows. Like, okay, we'll get our offense, and then, we're turned around now. We're at the advantage, and it's back and forth. And I gotta give props to Briscoe Crown here. Like, he's kind of the mix that makes it all go together. The Sky High and then the Frog Splash is going to be devastating in this division. It's going to win a lot of matches, as we see tonight, or as we saw Thursday night before Johnny gets all on me. But your starting lineup, they just vaulted themselves, I would say, up there with Pretty City Express. and whoever else is looking to get the first shot after we see a tag team championship match coming up, Marky. I think this puts them right near the top of that mountain.
I mean, especially to somebody like a D'Lo Brown who kind of forced these guys to put the garbage aside and turn it into something cohesive. And the last time we saw them together, they were close to the same page, but they still walked out a little bit, not so much. On Thursday, they were in the same page of the same book in the same sentence, and both of them, the cohesion, the tags, the quickness and the educated feet, and then the experience and the just brutal impact of what Jason Knoll can bring. And like you said, that sky high splash is going to just put so many teams away. The Reckless had a very good handle on this match. Jason Knoll is going to be the difference maker here. Oops, excuse me. He was the difference maker in this match. They wanted to keep the speed going. Knoll put the brakes on that and instantly changed the whole flavor of the match with one clothesline to Camacho. One clothesline changed the whole flow. The entire match was back in your starting lineup's corner. And then from there, it would almost seem like the Reckless were fighting from behind, which they'll always be able to do well because of their speed and their cohesiveness as a tag team too. But I mean, prove me wrong here, Lucas. I really think that in a tag team division where there's a lot of similar sized guy teams, what you're going to see, I think, out of your new starting lineup is something that other tag teams don't have, which is a lot more variety of guy, of move set. But right now, I think the focus for your starting lineup is right where it needs to be.
Absolutely. I'm very excited about what your new starting lineup could turn into. I think they've got the right recipe to be a major force in this tag team division. You talked about it, guys. They've got that combination of Briscoe Crown and what he brings with speed and agility and energy. But we have not seen the best of Jason Knoll in a long time. I don't know. If you guys haven't been around for very long, you know, you might only know Jason Knoll from his time as a Batu and some of the other, but I'm telling you, Jason Knoll is one of the best athletes that you will ever see in that ring. For his size and what he is able to accomplish in that ring, and what I've seen him being able to do, this is going to be something. If he is now motivated by this, and he seems to be right on the same page with Briscoe, and they seem to be getting along, oh man, this is going to be something to watch. It's going to be fun because now we're going to see, we're going to see some major matchups when they, start getting higher in the competition. You talk about Pretty City Express. That would be a hell of a matchup.
I was just going to bring that up, like those guys. Yes.
Yeah, that would be a hell. Pretty City would be a hell of a matchup. Obviously, Choppa City. This is getting good, guys. We've been talking about it for a while now. The tag team division has elevated, and man, your new starting lineup has just brought something else very special to this division.
Yeah, this division was very low competitively for the last year and a half, but at least over the last, I would say, 6 months, maybe even a little bit more. We're definitely seeing a big uptick in the tag division, and now we're getting to the point where your tag team matches are extremely beneficial with every match that you have. So, I mean, one win gets you one step closer to that number one contendership, and as competitive as this division is right now, it's pretty impressive to watch now. I think a lot of tag team enthusiasts like Tulsa Crusader is definitely loving this last string of tag team matches that has happened over at Rocky Mountain Pro over the past few months. So it's definitely one of the hottest divisions going in Rocky Mountain Pro right now. However, the Lockettes division has also kind of gained a little bit of momentum as well, coming up with the return of one Lilith Grimm for the first time in about a year. So we have Itzel Estrada going up against the returning Lilith Grimm. Your thoughts on the returning Lilith Grimm here?
Lucas, you want to take this one? Because this must have been crazy watching Lilith Grimm come back into the locker room, and all the Lockettes must have just kind of looked and went, oh no. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it definitely was. Because when we saw her come back at Milestone for the pre-show, we kind of thought that was a one-off. It was just kind of, her coming back for Milestone 15. That's what we kind of thought, and didn't have any word of her coming back. And yeah, all of a sudden, we've been seeing these video packages with the kind of, the Roman numerals and everything. Didn't quite know what it all meant. I think the last episode of Charge that we started to get a little more of a hint when you're hearing the hammer shots and everything else. But yeah, it was, it gave me kind of chills having her come back, still looking great as ever. Looks like she is as strong as ever, still got the hammer and doing the whole show. And then you get her in the ring, bell rings, and her and Itzel having pretty good back and forth. Itzel didn't seem too intimidated. Itzel took the fight to her. Itzel has been one of those Lockets that's changed her demeanor. She's a way more aggressive than when we first remember Itzel. Itzel, I think, is decided that she is going to have this meaner personality about her. Hopefully that'll maybe help elevate her. But in this match, it didn't matter. I think it was a little bit of a just a kind of a foregone conclusion that it was going to be Lilith. It was just too much momentum on her side. The roar of the crowd coming back, and you just felt it in the Bierstadt Lager House that it was going to be Lilith's night, and Lilith able to pick her up for that burning hammer and get the win. Coastal, now we've already got some powerhouses in this Lockets division when you're talking about Big Daddy Mo and C-Rex. Now you add Lilith Grimm. Boy, Lola must be kind of shaking in her boots now because it's gotten a lot tougher. You Punk and Morgan, and so she's got a lot of competition now.
Yeah, absolutely. I really think she's going to have to rely on her lawyer a little bit more than she already does. We see her looking for something that, as a segment, you talk about how she's worried, and she seems to make a fellow a new friend, if you will, with Itzel backstage. So that'll be interesting. They're going to help each other solve problems, it seems. But yeah, she's very worried right now, and it's going to be interesting to see. We all remember how Mo became Big Daddy Mo. That was Lilith's doing as well.
Yep.
So bringing Lilith back at this point is going to be, maybe it's the salt that makes the pot boil over even more, and this becomes chaos. And not that Rocky Mountain Pro isn't chaos right now, but it just seems like every division there is just turmoil, and it's getting crowded, and everybody wants everything. It's getting heated. Marky, this is the perfect storm, really, for wrestling. Like, everybody wants to be great. Let them.
And there's a lot of opportunities right now. Lola is holding the prize that they're all looking at. C-Rex, Big Daddy Mo, Punkin. Except now we have that which carries the Warhammer back, Lilith Grimm, looking up at the same prize that everybody else is looking at. And you talk about the chaosity of what's going to happen. What about that evident face-off that we eventually get, that eventual face-off that we will get some point? And I know we were thinking about it. C-Rex and Lilith Grimm facing off in that regard. We've seen Mo without being intimidated and standing firm. What do you think Lilith Grimm is going to do? This is going to blow like the absolute roof off of Locket's division. There's going to be like fault lines in every ring that they stand in right now. Lilith Grimm is an absolute force to be taken very, very seriously in an already highly contested Locket's division. Lola, Preston, you guys really better lawyer up. Gonna have to. Except here's the thing, right? Lilith doesn't get paid by the hour. So you're going to have to come up with a brand new strategy other than keeping somebody on the phone for too long or avoiding their phone calls or all these little games.
Yeah.
None of them are going to work with Lilith Grimm. None of them.
I want to get you guys' feelings on the message that was sent to Damon Ace's direction from one Kevin Kowa talking about their Shocktober main event match for the Rocky Mountain Pro Championship.
Think Damon's worried? Damon's as sadistic as Koa is. Koa is as sadistic as Damon is. This is the absolute meeting of the irresistible force meeting the immovable object. This is not what we've seen. This is going to be different from Damon. We've seen blood feuds. We've seen him go back and forth with Balaam Lynx and Dustin Urich. This isn't that. This is a different person who's out for blood. And he's looking at Damon Ace. When have we seen people out for blood looking at Damon Ace? We don't. Kevin Koa is for real. Damon Ace is for real. This is going to be one of the most highly contested physical confrontations that we've seen in Rocky Mountain Pro in a very long time. When these two finally lock horns and a bell rings and they're both competing for the RMP championship. There will be no more words. There won't need to be. Because Coastal, they're going to say everything they have to with lefty and righty.
Oh, absolutely. Violence is going to be the language of this match. And it's going to be, I don't know if it'll be a weapons of mass destruction match like we saw with Marty, but I think it's going to be more of the who can hit each other harder. Like, this is going to be, I will break you in the ring. I don't need kendo sticks. I don't need stairs. I'm sure if something comes into play, it will. But I really think Kevin Koa is the first person that may be willing to go as far as Damon in some of the things that they do in the ring. I think at this point, Damon has always looked for the perfect, mental match for him, maybe somebody that will go to the places he'll go. Lucas, I think he found it in this one because Koa understands the assignment. This isn't about Damon. This is about the title. And he's just, Damon's who Kevin's got to beat to get it. I don't think he cares what Damon says to him.
No, absolutely not. Because does Koa care about titles and stuff? Sure. What I think is important to Kevin Koa is putting pain and hurting his opponents, just like it is to Damon. Everyone else it's about titles and winning first. Do we have some sick, sadistic people? Sure. But not like this. Not like Koa and Damon Ace. These two, that is like water and breathing to them. That's air, that them get pain and suffering. And that Kevin Koa enjoys it just as much as Damon Ace. I've kind of been on this Kevin Koa train for a while, saying that Kevin Koa is a star in the making. I said that back when he was making his debut last year here in Rocky Mountain Pro. And now we're seeing that take place. We're seeing him on a big stage now. He's going to be in the main event of Shocktober against Damon Ace. And this is a guy that matches wits with the Damon Ace. He matches physicality with Damon Ace. He matches just very well with Damon Ace. If you put the tail of the tape together, it's going to be just about dead even, guys.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Coastal. Probably one of your best moments of this episode this past Thursday. The confrontation between Caden Koyama, JK Pop, and Dustin with Damon Ace. And apparently a bunch of sausage.
There was a lot of sausage.
So
this could have gone a lot worse. I mean, I'm not saying it went well, we have a differing of opinions at this moment amongst the old friends there, but they were all there. No one punched anyone. That went way better than the last time he and Dustin were in a room together, right? Maybe we're getting to something
close.
I
don't know if they were the friendliest they've ever been, because if you remember right, Koyama stepped right up to the champ and no, didn't take any of his crap. Like, this is still, I don't think this is this perfect little thing that you're looking at here. I think there's still firm lines.
They both make valid points. We can test this theory. They just got to get back together. And if they're all successful, maybe it was both. Everyone teamwork makes the dream work, gentlemen. If they all get together, everybody is successful. Let's make everyone successful. Let's make all the members of the Wake successful. If they team back up, it's going to be better.
They
I'm telling
already
you.
are successful, aren't they, Lucas? They're already
Yeah.
some of the most
Yeah.
decorated,
Oh, how
highly
much more is-
rated, highly
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. Caden Koyama's on like the greatest charge championship run in history.
Well, I
You
think
got-
our guest might have something to say about that.
Well, maybe, but what I'm saying is they're already successful, and you know, Coastal, you remind me of those like fans back in the day that of like Hollywood stars like that wanted to see, that thought that Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt were going to get back together. You know, it just was never going to happen. You know, that's what
Can't
this kind
rule
of
it out.
reminds me.
Nothing was said about it being not happening in that whole exchange. It was I make it better, I make it better, but they never said it wasn't gonna happen.
I don't think the amount of ego between those four guys can allow it to happen again.
Talent.
Simply
The word
because
you're
of
looking for
how
is talent.
far apart they've grown from each other. Damon is on his own monstrous run as the champion. Dustin Urich is the longest reigning champion, but coming back from other things that he was dealing with. JK Pop is divided, but still united at the same time in a weird singles wrestlers kind of way now. Everything is different. To try to go back and massage it to the way it was is asking for nothing about how it happened. It's asking for new calamity
Well, it needs
that right
to be
now
new.
none of the four of them need.
They need to understand growth, and it can be different but the same. Different but the same. Maybe not everyone has the same titles, but it's the same because you're still winning, you're still powerful, you're still dominant. Come on, I'm just saying, let's get the band back together.
Kane's in chat.
He did a great job starting a very constructive conversation, I feel.
Oh, we got Koyama for RMP champion. Well, if Postal has it his way, that's not going to happen.
Because Damon could never be in a group again without being the leader of it now. You will never get a wake.
Damon
that
would
be
have to,
under
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I mean,
Dustin Urich.
yeah.
He would never let that happen, even if he had lost the RMP championship to somebody in some set of circumstances that's coming up very soon, where it is kind of the most credible threat that he's received to that championship in a long time.
And I wonder how Dustin
would
would
be-
feel about that.
That's the other right. The egos and the who these guys are by nature doesn't allow for it to happen again. At least the same way it did. You have to put that disclaimer on it because something would end up being all new about it. And if it was as bad as it was before with how they ran roughshot, can you imagine what they do again?
I mean,
Yaden's in chat over here on YouTube. Do you need that? No, we don't need that. We don't need that.
They would probably hold on. I bet they could solve the whole Tortured Souls problem. The law
Tortured
office
Souls
would
don't
be
even have a
problem anymore.
problem. What do you mean?
The Souls are starting crap with the funnest tag team ever right now. Speaking of Yaden, they're over there talking smack in these guys' ears.
But it's
is
consolidated. It's a feud between
Right.
those two. Yeah, the law office. You could make a
Well,
bark
that is
for
how
it,
you take
but-
care of your law office problem.
That's one way. I don't know if that's the way. I don't know if we want to rob Peter to pay Paul to get the law office out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, two wrongs don't necessarily make the best right you could come up with.
The law
There's
office
other
is
ways.
just focusing on championships right now. They're not even worried about any type of wake formation at the moment.
See, you hit them when they're not expecting it. Complete surprise.
There you go. Caden said it best.
I don't like it.
Caden said it
like
best
it.
right there.
Yeah, dude, seriously, straight up, yeah. Caden, we've been trying, from even back in the day when this was a thing back then, and he just never lost it. He never lost this weird dream of hope that somehow, someday, you guys would all just kind of see it his way and do it again. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it
You
at
never
all.
say
It didn't
never
end
in
well the
wrestling
first time.
business.
It didn't end well the first time. It will end horribly worse this time. Horribly worse this time.
All right. And Remy D also posting a challenge for next week. He currently doesn't even have a Shocktober match scheduled so far up until this point. Any predictions?
Just an open challenge. That's kind of you're asking for it sometimes. But Remy D, right now, I think this very good for him. Keep it unpredictable. Keep it fresh. Keep it new. Let me be ready for anything. Because when you're ready for anything, you can respond to anything. And Remy's proven that he can respond to almost absolutely anything and come out victorious. So in Remy, I trust.
I mean, if
Guys,
any of
there's.
the,
Oh, go ahead, Coastal.
I was going to say, if any of the younger talent on the roster wants to see how they measure up and wants to see just where they stand, go answer that challenge. You're not going to find many better than Remy right now, and it'd be a heck of a way to figure out exactly where you stand.
I was kind of going the opposite way, Coastal.
Oh.
I'm thinking that, we've got some Rocky Mountain Pro legends that have made some returns back. Maybe they want to see how they stack up with one of the best current stars we have going. There's guys like Draper, Hunter Gray, that haven't really had a chance to get a piece of Remy. Wouldn't it be nice to kind of see a little bit of a dream match of guys that have, had some success in the past with one of the most successful guys of the current regime? That would be kind of cool.
I could stand to see Draper and Remy.
Hunter and Remy might weird out Remy a little bit. Hunter's just different than any opponent you've faced in the past. But again, on that you never know what to expect kind of meter, Hunter Gray gives you that. It definitely makes you more of a versatile athlete.
Hunter can't be the scariest thing Remy's seen. Detroit City, you get some weird characters that come out of Detroit.
No, that's true, but Hunter's straight from them hills.
Don't even know exactly where.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody's backyard. It could be on the other side of the highway. It doesn't matter. It's all home to Hunter Gray.
Yeah.
The whole wilderness.
All right. We did see Anaya and Draper backstage spewing some nonsense towards Dustin Urich's way. Pretty sure
Accurate.
they didn't even pronounce his name correctly as well.
No, they didn't. I'm glad somebody else heard that. No, they did. I thought I was hearing things mistakenly, but no, he repeated it.
And that boiled over to our main event of episode 465. Dustin Urich going up against Mr. Draper himself. And we go now.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, no, we kind of switched up the order, so I think him and I are both kind of like, wait, who does the next one now?
Exactly.
Whoever wants to start, just talk.
Go ahead, buddy.
Just talk.
No, I mean this is like your monster movie mashup. Like it's just two big guys beating each other up, and they didn't like each other to begin with. This was physical. This was everything you want when you hear the names Draper and Dustin Urich. I mean, you got one guy who was the original NRW champion, or no, RMP champion after they switched from NRW. You got the longest reigning RMP champion of all time going against each other. Like, some of the offense, I literally thought they were going through the mat. Like, Dustin slams Draper at one point so hard. And then the chops and the back and forth, just haymaker shots near the end of the match. Like, this was, I don't want to say that pre-existing injuries come into this, but we all know about Dustin's back. It has not been the same since he got put through that table many months ago by Damon Ace. And we see it. He can't quite get up for the Dustin Urich driver. He can't quite lift him at the end. And Draper takes advantage and gets a big win. I mean, this is a massive win for Draper, Markey. This has got to put you next in line when whoever walks out of that absolute massacre that's going to be at Shocktober. Does this put Draper next in line?
Oh, man, if it doesn't, it's definitely head of the conversation with the situation. These guys tear it all apart in the main event. You got what I thought was equal XP, but then we heard the encyclopedia say on commentary that, like, even Urich's been around longer than Draper, but you'd never know watching the two of these guys go at it. They're very similar, kind of old school way. They both work kind of slow, methodical, high impact pace matches, and the two of them really go out. And the most of this match is 50-50, man. Dak has an early advantage. Uric fights back, takes it back. The only thing I could say towards the end of this was I think Uric was feeling good. At the end, he hit that like inverted DDT, and he got up, and I think instead of getting up, he kind of wasted a second or two, let Dak get a little bit of air, and then Dak gets up and hits the ropes and knocks Uric off that top there. Things might be a little different if Uric's in that moment, but I think after that, he kind of thinks that DDT was so powerful, but Dak is not your average guy. This was a wall of XP versus another wall of XP, and it was going to come down. And even when we were watching it, I was telling myself, this is going to come down. I got it right here. First mistake loses this match. And I really feel the only mistake that was even made the entire time was just Uric taking an extra couple seconds. It gave Dak that opportunity. And then he hit that big tilt-a-whirl slam, that gut wrench slam. And it's just all over from there. Dak Draper. This is a huge win, Lucas. You talked about these veteran guys that are back, taking a look at guys like Remy and Damon and everybody else. But this was the two veterans taking a piece out of each other's body, out of each other's face, out of everything here. And then Dak comes up to win it. This is big for Dak. But where does Dustin go after this? Dustin's been on this warpath trying to get back at Dak, and then Dak wins the match. This kind of good for Dak, but kind of bad for Dustin.
Yeah, it's not good for Dustin. There's obviously no shame in losing to Draper. I mean, he's Draper for crying out loud. But at the same time, Dustin Uric has done some things here in Rocky Mountain Pro, and so for him to suffer a loss like this, not good for him, and especially how competitive things are getting. You've got more guys coming in that are at that level. We've talked about Hunter Gray and Anaya and those guys that have been near the top or at the top of Rocky Mountain Pro. So it's getting very crowded up at the top. So you don't want to take a loss like this if you're Dustin Uric. So regardless of the animosity that he has with Dak Draper, just him losing this match from a standpoint of getting back to the Rocky Mountain Pro Championship, that's a setback. Draper, he can now move forward, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty more people that want to get a piece of Draper because of what he's meant to this company. So there's going to be a lot more competition coming his way. And just want to kind of point this out, guys, is that I think sometimes we look at Draper and see, kind of the Hollywood star, good looks, he's got the Tom Selleck mustache and everything else. We forget that how tough of an SOB Draper is. And we saw it in this matchup, just the physicality showing. We knew Dustin Uric is as tough as nails, but Draper proves time and time again. Don't think that just because he's got he got that look that he could star in a Hollywood movie that he ain't one tough SOB. He's proved it.
Oh no!
Ever since he dropped that fanny pack, I just don't trust him. That's all. I just don't trust him. Ever since he grew the mustache and dropped the fanny pack, I don't trust him. But he's come up with this brand new aggression that is matching horns with some of the biggest fellas, and honestly, putting his name on a claim to be talked about.
How many times do you got a code yellow in a show?
That was only 2. Leave me alone. I've been here since 8:30 in the morning for the tournament. I've had so much coffee today. Leave me alone.
Our bladders aren't as big when you get in your 40s. Leave them alone.
Yeah,
correct.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I got to drink coffee and deal with these yahoos all day that come in and out of the alleys. All right, come on, leave me alone. Pee a couple times. I'm not swearing, am I? No.
You know what's happening soon. All right. And that is going to conclude review of episode 465. Final words, friends.
The tag team division is going to be something else, gentlemen, to watch. I mean, you look at the match we had tonight against two teams that really technically weren't even on the top going. I mean, we still have Chopper City and Cease and Desist to go through, and then you have the whole thing going on with the Souls and the world's funnest tag team. Now you mix Team Reckless back in. We get to see them every week. Your new starting lineup. it's going to be fun to watch to see who keeps trying to outdo who every week to get the shots.
And everything that's going on the Luckets right now, Lilith Grimm coming back, throwing fuel on that fire. Kevin Koa, if you didn't believe it, because it is true. And I think Damon Ace saw that. And Damon may act like it's not a thing, but this is the first person who's gone to that same level that he does.
Oh, he's
It's
aware.
very much a thing.
He's aware.
Oh, yeah. He has to be. He's smart as hell. We give him that much credit that he's that smart. He's not taking this lightly, but he also has to maintain that appearance, and that's the scariest part. You don't know what you're going to get out of him.
I'm just hoping that this episode is just an appetizer for next week when we're going to have new tag team champions, fellas, because Chopper City bringing it back home, taking down those suckers from the law office.
It's not next week. It's the week after.
Well, we're a week away.
Right. Bust us some suckers. Hashtag
I thought it was
bust
the
us
8th.
some suckers.
I thought it was the 8th.
We're coming up. I don't know. It's either next week or the week after. It's coming.
It's close.
You did
It's right around the
not.
corner,
You did
as they
not.
say in the
You
business.
did not help out your journalistic stance here, Lucas. On that one,
you know-
I'm
you know,
just saying.
if it is next week, though, then I get to rub it in your face. Is that fair?
It's always fair.
Okay. Just I'm acknowledging that I could be wrong, but you gotta
Bias
acknowledge that.
and wrong.
Okay.
That's what Reyes said. So
Biased and wrong. Okay. Well, but it's coming from Reyes.
should we
He knows a lot
confirm
about
it?
bias and wrong.
Actually, you know
Just biased towards you
what? You know what?
and Cookie Reyes, because this is
Let's just
the
end it right
output
now.
you get from the input.
Let's just end it right now. Let's see.
end
Shocktober
it.
is October 9th, which means you are wrong, Lucas. You do have
Wait, now hold. We got 2 episodes of Charge left. Next week's episode is coming from Bierstadt. That match is coming from Bierstadt.
Yeah. Okay.
So we've got an episode coming from Bierstadt, and then we got
Yeah.
an episode coming from the Quarry. That match takes place at the Bierstadt.
I mean, Lucas was right.
So next week.
So next week.
So it's not a Shocktober match.
No, it's not a Shocktober match. I
Oh.
told you that. It's a Charge match. See, you don't listen, and that's why I'm the journalist, try to keep you guys straight, and you don't listen to the journalists. That's why I get upset and a little irritated by everyone.
Get irritated over everything.
Well, that's true.
He's got a right to, though, sometimes, man. He's got a right.
Yeah, this isn't a Shocktober match. This match is happening on Charge, baby.
So are we not having a tag team title match at Shocktober?
We don't know that. Could still be having a tag team title match as well.
You change, Johnny.
You
That's
gotta have a
right.
little patience, my friend.
Ain't got no patience. Far beyond patience. Yeah, I think that's
Remy
it.
having no patience for that little chia pet in the chat, too, either. Love seeing that.
So I heard not a lot of people like Eric Reyes too much, at least as of late, including one Hunter Dillon apparently.
No, not at all.
Not
at all.
Sonny Flores wants to get it too. He calls me wrong, and then he ends up being a wrong jackass as well. Like he's almost as bad as. It's almost as if like him and Eric Reyes like share the same brain. That's very little brain to be sharing.
Let's just say that's like cutting a walnut in half. There's like
Yes.
no point to it.
Hunter, what
Or
are you
peanut.
what are you honestly going to do to Reyes? Let's be honest here.
Good question.
Anyways, I think we're ready for our special guest now. We're a little bit early. Surprisingly, we actually hit our time. Good job, boys. About goddamn time you did
did.
that.
We did. And actually, yeah, we
Listen,
started a little bit.
anything-
We got through a whole show in 45 minutes. Perfect.
Yeah, about
Anything is
time.
possible.
Anything is
He's here.
awesome.
That was the Lego movie.
I know.
Yeah. That's a great movie, by the way.
Yes,
It
is.
really is.
All right.
He's here.
Drag him in.
He's here.
I gave you
Ladies and
instructions.
I understand that, but I didn't know if you wanted to introduce or if you wanted to say anything.
I
I
will.
was giving you an opportunity.
I will introduce, but not say the name. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only former Charge champion, none other than blank.
Gentlemen, I understand that, but I didn't know if you wanted to introduce or if you wanted to say anything.
The stream is definitely still on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Remy got to turn off the volume.
He's here, sir.
Or
I'm still figuring out my life. Hang on.
there you go.
He's working that camera.
Sup?
There he
Yo,
is.
how?
In
What a
all-
great shirt. I love that.
I love the
I
shirt.
love that. Look at this.
Okay, then I'm wearing that for Anaya. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I can see that.
In
Hey,
all
What's up,
his
dudes? How
glory.
y'all been?
Good to see you, man. It's been more than a couple minutes. How you living?
It has.
It's been so in doing my research and preparing for this. The last time we were all together in this type of setting was 3 years ago.
Oh, and I know exactly what happened that night.
That was the infamous 25 letters of the alphabet conversation with Triple I. Yes.
It was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Feel welcome.
How
My
y'all
day
been?
has been ruined. That's what we do here. We did that on purpose, Reyes.
Goal match.
This kid
Is he
makes
still bitching
everything
in the
terrible.
comments?
He won't stop.
These children these days, I tell you.
You know, I'd be in a bad mood too, though, if I looked like Eric Reyes.
Lucas, I'm so proud of you. You've been hanging around me too long. That was a good read.
Yeah. Well, yes, a lot of you rubbing off. I wish some of your looks were, but yeah, I'll take what I can get.
It's easy. Just drink your water and mind your business. That's how it goes.
That's it.
Yeah,
It's such a good philosophy, baby.
I got the water. I'm minding my business. Here we go.
Here you go.
All right, boys. You know how it works. We've done this plenty of times before. Fire away.
Coastal, do you dare ask the first question? And
Oh,
You
I'm
know
not
what?
allowed to
You
go
know what?
first.
Let him this
Let him-
time.
No, I'm not allowed to.
Let's see if he can redeem himself.
Yeah.
Come on, Coastal.
that'd be,
you
yeah,
got it.
we got to get off the bad track record.
I
No, no,
believe
go
in you.
First, Mark. You go first.
You've been hanging around.
All right.
You've been hanging around the journalist long enough. You've learned a thing or two.
Come on, Coast. Make me proud. It's been too long. Come on.
So the road back, we saw the vignettes. We see it looks like you're not having more fun. It just seems like you're not letting the bad stuff get there, and you're more focused on winning. You issue the open challenge on the last episode of Charged. Who are you really hoping gets that challenge so you can unleash this new version of yourself on and impress us even more? Because since you come back, I've been so impressed. Like, this is the Remy that I remember winning the Charge title from Sledge and wouldn't be stopped. Then something got in the way, but that thing is gone now. And so is there anybody you're really hoping answers that challenge? I mean, other than Anaya, we understand that.
You
but-
started that question off as worse as possible, and thank God you redeemed yourself because I thought we were going to have another issue.
I got a little worried. But yeah,
I got worried there.
We got there. The
I
roadmap
wasn't
got
gonna
us
say
there.
nothing. I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was gonna let you cook. That was just me. You know, honestly, I really don't care. I really don't. I'm open and receptive to anyone that has the cojones to step to me right now at this point in my life. Like I said, for me, especially if you were mentioning the vignettes, art imitates life. And especially with what I do, I take it very seriously. I don't let all my issues, all my business out there to the public or social media. I'm very a private person about some things, but some things need to be expounded on. And for the last literally year and a half, even professionally, personally, I was going through some things. So what you saw, I allowed myself to let all those inhibitions go and just not give a crap about anything anymore. As being so long for being the good guy, being the one to do it by the book, it gets exhausting most times. And having that issue with Balaam, how he was going through his own things, but someone I considered a friend, being in a locker room that at first wasn't very. I couldn't find where to navigate to. But he was one of those dudes that took me in. I learned from him, but he allowed his own demons and put that on me. And so that was just I was done. I as we've said so many times before in the past, I let that beast out. I let that Detroit side out where I just don't give a damn anymore. You get hurt, sorry, shouldn't have stepped up. Oh, I slapped the hell out of you. Well, you shouldn't be talking stuff. Like I don't care anymore. And but now it's as you guys have said before in the past, that side, don't get it twisted. Things haven't changed. That little part of me is just dormant. See, now moving forward, my goal is to become R&P champion. I'm not afraid of taking it to that level because it's survival of the fittest in R&P. So I'll play nice with you to an extent, but don't get it twisted. As David Banner said, don't make me angry because clearly you're not going to like when I'm angry.
Don't make the Hulk angry. You
No.
don't want to
I'm
do
just,
that.
I'm just saying, if we want to go there, homeboy's over there. He's still there. So tread lightly. As the queen says, proceed with caution.
See, and that was going to lead me into a question right here of where we have seen you have one hell of a tumultuous last like year and a half, where there was good times, there was bad times, but then you obviously took all the time in your own hand to do your own thing for a long time. And the question was going to be, is there still some of that guy left in there? But I think the obvious answer is that there kind of has to be to a certain point if you're going to focus yourself forward to bigger and better challenges, NRW championships, Damon Ace, and the Rocky Mountain Pro Championship. But now there's this mix of the older Remy that we knew before from your charge title runs and other time, and then there is that Remy that just DGAF at all. And I think that's kind of necessary to be able to rise to the top of things. So I guess my next question would end up being that if there's dudes that get in the way that maybe could be considered a friend, does that DGAF kind of come back into play and it's like, nah, this is my time, I'm going there? Or is there still this sense of camaraderie of doing the right thing? Have priorities shifted a little bit, or is it just Remy D's time now?
I think I would say it's a little bit of all of those things. You have to be.
Yeah.
You can't be very singular in this business. From the guys, I'm about to approach my 4 years in wrestling come October, and you guys literally have seen the growth, the maturity, the navigating, through so many highways and byways since I've been here. Um, Trying to do the right thing that can only get you probably through the door, but being able to tap into that aggressiveness. There's sometimes me holding back. If you remember, I had my thing with CBD that cost me showing
Yep.
remorse, showing empathy, cost me to lose my title. So throughout this whole year, I've kind of taken on those opponents that I've faced, from the Simbodis to the Martin Casals to Damon to Drake to all of them. Every single battle I've had, I've literally taken a piece of something from that, whether it's a learning opportunity, whether it's that aggression, that energy, and all of them have had a lasting impact on me. So that was probably the biggest difference what it is now. Um, I'm not so, as much as I love to look good and dance while I'm doing it. That's still
Yeah,
like
you
a
do it though.
thing I love doing. However, where I'm trying to go, where I'm trying to navigate, it can't be on that 100% time anymore compared to the triumphant one Remy, compared to the charge Remy where it was like all flash and whatnot, pretty much 90% of the time. Um, Things are a lot different now. Like I said, I'm an adult. I'm a grown ass man. I own that, but I'm also in touch with my youthfulness. That's what keeps me vibrant. That's what keeps me energetic. That's what keeps me meeting. And honestly, came back this way after a lot of therapy, which I think I shout out to therapy, for the R&P faithful. Because literally, no matter how much I acted like an ass over the last year, no matter how much I beat down their favorite R&P superstar, they still stood behind me. And that was evident at last year's milestone all the way to this milestone. So they gave me that motivation to say, let's go back to basics a little bit. You'll get vintage Remy in a more modern, current way. There's a lot of growth that's happened. The XP bar, it's robust. Contrary to popular belief, it's robust. And I've earned that. And yeah, it's a combination of all those things.
It sounds like the one word that can wrap it all up is maturity in that regard. XP'd enough to know how to do it, but still youthful enough to know how to get it done in a way that gets it done.
I said that
Love to
your
hear it.
skin will look great when you add the youthfulness to it. I mean, look at this. Look at this.
You look better than I could ever. I could never look that good again. I ain't even gonna try. I ain't even gonna try. That's for you
Listen,
to do. Do
this
that.
is the finest piece of Godiva chocolate you're gonna find in the Front Range in Colorado. I stand by that.
Amen.
You know, Remy, you and I have had a lot of conversations in the past about kind of your respect and reverence for those that came before you in Rocky Mountain Pro. I know you've always kind of tried to walk in their footsteps and then blaze another trail. We're getting a lot of those old guys back. You know, guys like Anaya and Draper and Hunter Gray and some of the blasts from the past. And I know some of those guys don't really like some of the new school guys in Rocky Mountain Pro. And I'm talking a lot about it, you know, your problems with Anaya, but you know, we've got Draper, who seems to have problems with some of the new school guys, and Hunter Gray, who knows what the hell he's thinking. But what's your thoughts on some of these guys coming back, trying to get back their glory from Rocky Mountain Pro, and you know, you are one of the guys of the present right now. Like, what are your thoughts on moving forward with these guys?
Haters. They're all haters. That's what they are. No, you know what? All those people that you mentioned, they are pillars in this company. And if people haven't been following me for the last 3 years, going on 4 now, and don't know my backstory, attacking and climbing mountains, that's kind of my thing. That's what gets me, that's what makes me adapt. That's what evolves me. So, and then some of those like Anaya, you know, yeah, yeah. I guess he
Yeah,
comes back, you know, after taking his ball and going home. He decided to come back. But me, I've always been here. I've never taken breaks. I've always been here. And I guess he's trying to get on that Isle of relevancy again by adding me to his list of names of people to take out, to wrestle, to conquer. But like I said, homie, you've come back into this. The landscape has changed. There's fresh blood, there's new blood on the scene.
hmm
And I suggest you do your research on me because I've gone through the likes of Sledge, Curtis Cole, Drake, Damon Ace, Sin Bodie. Check the resume, check the references. Got more witnesses than Jehovah. Check them. If this is what you want, this is what you're going to get. And I'll go through each and every mountaintop until I get to the R&P title. So I welcome it with open arms and a smile.
Hell yeah.
All right, as we get towards the end of the show, we will be putting this out to the chat. Chat will be able to ask questions to Remy at the end of it once all of us are all set with our questions and get a little one-on-one with Remy D towards the end. Remy, we currently have a charge champion right now that is really starting to make the rounds here and constantly putting that charge title up week in and week out and finding ways to win. You being a former charge champion yourself, what do you think about the current reign of one Caden Koyama?
I mean, what can you not say about Caden? If anything, he was the blueprint for me when I had my title run, and I've learned under him. I've been coached under him. I've been I've had my ass chewed out by him. You know, when Sometimes you need that tough love. But if anything, I would give, the success of my 308-day title reign. Just want to throw
It
it out
was
there.
almost a year, yeah.
I would get.
That's
Yeah,
right.
he was a big part of that. He was a big part of that, like the drilling, the learning the ring psychology, all that mentoring me. Those times where I was discouraged, those times that it's like I'm working my ass off, but nothing seems to be moving. He was always there in my ear to, to focus on those positive things, to take one step at a time daily, not taking a whole stride. Um, so I kudos to him. He's doing the damn thing right now. Like I said, I'm a product of his mentorship. So he's going to hold that bad boy as long as he wants to. So roster, y'all better tread lightly.
All right. Another round. Dudes, anything?
I got one.
Go ahead.
Okay, go
I got
ahead.
one.
Yeah.
I got one. I need Remy, dude. I need your straight up opinion of this Anaya thing. Okay, look, we know you loud, you glamorous, you glitzy, you ain't afraid to say it, but you also know when to say less, right? It's straight up. Anaya is just loud. All right, he's just kind of loud.
Maybe.
He backs it up, but he's just loud without any of the normality of any of it. Do you think that he kind of come back to try to like on purpose try to steal a little bit of your thunder, seeing that something he sees something in you that reminds him of him, and all of a sudden he had to kind of make you his target, just kind of poking at you, taking a little piece out of you whenever you can. That tag match when you guys were together, you gave him every opportunity to be a good teammate, and he turned it around, snuck the tag. You even like kind of smiled at him in the beginning when he jumped out in front of you and did his stupid thing. You were even like, all right, kid, whatever, let's go. Let's just win this match together. And then he turned into an absolute knucklehead sandwich. Like, I know we've seen things go left and right sometimes in a Rocky Mountain Pro ring, but this Anaya dude is like nothing that we've had around in a long time. We've seen the old rewinds and stuff. Give me an honest opinion of the guy. We see him, he does his videos in the back, but then he gets in the ring and he's just like nipping pieces out of everybody. Like, how long do you think he's going to get away with that before somebody just says, no more?
I mean, who knows? I mean, honestly, if you look back at the last few years, every person that's returned that's been in the company or out of town or something, somebody always feel it in they get this false sense of security. They stand on this wobbly ass soapbox and scream from the rafters. Remy D
Right.
gets all the attention. Who is Remy D? Why does Remy D gotta do this? And I'm just like, I'm just trying to wrestle. I'm just trying to make
Right.
it. I'm minding my own business over here. I'm right here. And your business is over here. But then all of a sudden you're over here in my business. And there's a reason for that. It's called audacity. He has the audacity to come back being gone for how long and try to make a new name for himself. Well, sir, I say that with the utmost respect, with everything that you've done for the company in the past. Sir, I am him. I am here. So we can go back and forth with this. He said he did this, he did that. You don't like what I do. It's all going to end the exact same. Always.
Go ahead,
I
Coastal.
hope he's online too, watching this too. Make sure this is recorded because I want him. I don't want to have the same conversation again.
Oh, we're gonna be
I wish he
sending
was
this.
here.
Yeah, no, we're gonna be
Yeah.
sending this to production later. Don't you worry.
But I mean, if you
We
see
should-
now, like you remember back in the day, I used to be more so if someone wronged me. Well, maybe they were having a bad day. I'm just gonna leave well enough alone. If you saw that
Right.
last time he pulled me off, it's my philosophy as along with FAFO. It's on site. I'm slapping the
Yep.
hell out of you on site. That's it. There's no there's no more apologies. There's nothing. You get
You shouldn't have to. These are choices that he made. These are choices that he made. It didn't have to be. You guys could have been like this dynamic team together, and it would have been another tag team that Rocky Mountain Pro would have had to have looked at and gone, "Oh, geez, here we go. Here comes another great team that we wouldn't have thought had been gel." But then it turns into peanut butter and jelly, and they just going up and ruling the place. But then he had to go and blow it for his own situation.
And
Did
I
you have any
genuinely
good feelings
tried.
about it? Like, could you have been able to coexist with them if it was possible?
I tried. I even gave it. Oh, I didn't say I gave him. He kind of took a point in my intro, in my entrance. I didn't say nothing about it. I'm trying
Right.
to this whole maintain the beauty in me once again. And the people are making it very, very hard, very hard. And we could have been like really something cool. You never know. But the
I
way
think
he went
so.
about it, just like I said, I wanted to give a chance because I have a lot of atoning to do for some things that I've done over the last year and a half.
Fair.
So I was just like maybe extend a half an olive branch, but what they say, give someone an inch, they take the whole ruler. So
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Triple I would have came in right there with one of his comments.
I was just about to say that, Johnny. I was just about to say that.
This thing would have been off the rails 15 minutes ago if he was still here, man.
Yeah,
Oh God.
especially with endings to that. All right, Lucas Coastal, got anything?
Hey, Coastal.
I guess Remy, you've mentioned a couple times the overall goal is the Rocky Mountain Pro title. And I just wonder, you're looking at Shocktober, there's Kevin Koa and Damon Ace, two people you have history with in each in themselves. Is that kind of you're waiting to see who comes out of that war? And is that you've said a couple times that's the overall goal? Is that where we're marching to on this road of Remy?
Yeah, I'm always waiting. Like my philosophy, another one. I don't get ready. I stay ready. And I'm going to sit back and watch because I honestly don't know who's going to come out on top of that match. I faced them both, Kevin Koa, more recently.
Mhm.
They both have beaten me down they've broken me down to my brake pads, Damon multiple times over the years. So I know what each is one is capable of. But it's like as decorated and as much as Damon, as much of a beast and leather and violent individual he is, um, it took me really bringing out the true essence of the beast of my side to beat Kevin at Milestone. Like it could have gone either way,
Mhm.
but for him to have to bring that out of me to survive, what is he going to do to win the RMP title? So I'm going to sit back like everyone else in Gorilla and watch, witness, and then I'll act accordingly after that.
Remy, you said you don't really, talk much about your personal and private life. I know for a fact how, hard you work outside of professional wrestling. You've got a very busy life outside of professional wrestling. You've been very successful in a lot of things outside of professional wrestling. How hard is it to balance what you do outside and to still give it your all in this business? What kind of sacrifices have you had to make to try to really make both worlds kind of work together?
It's hard. It's very hard. You sacrifice, especially for me. While like even like last year, I was able to accomplish another big achievement outside of wrestling. But you lose time with those loved ones, and everyone knows life is short. You lose time with your friends, family. You can't go home that often. And both of these things, these careers are both my passions. So sometimes it discourages me when like not instinctively, but sometimes I'm only able to give more to the other at that given time, and then I know people are depending on me. I know that people are know that I'm loyal, but it's a lot. I don't really have a social life these days because I have a 9 to 5 too. So on top of that, but it's doable when you're passionate about it. When you want to do it, you will literally exhaust every option to be your very best at it. I don't claim to be the best. I'm the best at what I do, what I present, how I carry myself, and thankfully everyone has been entertained for that over the years. But it's hard. It gets a little lonely sometimes. You want someone to be able to vent to. I think if I had someone to vent to a lot often, I wouldn't have been such a crappy person over the last year. But you live and you learn. I'm thankful and I'm blessed what I'm doing. I'm glad I'm physically able to compete at a high level. And yeah, I'm just gratitude. Just gratitude.
You just mentioned that, you know, you kind of wish you had somebody to vent to. And it is most helpful when life is going upside down, inside out, and all around. We noticed over the last year and a half, you were having the hard times and everything. Everything was going upside down, relationship with D-Lo, and then kind of having stuff happen, you know, and everything else. But it seemed like there was a beginning of a turning point at one point. You were having interactions with Mercury Yaden backstage on the Here and There, talking to each other. And it almost seemed like there was some measure of respect there, or like some kind of agreement that you guys had come to. And you still weren't being, you know, kind of like your best person at that point. You were still in a world of trouble and dealing with a whole bunch of stuff that you were going through. But it seemed like there was a moment where something reached. And then it seemed as though for a while you were kind of quiet with yourself and just, you know, saying less and just kind of doing more. And that kind of led into what ended up becoming that menagerie of a mess that happened with the Tortured Souls when they tried to like keep you for theirs and make you join them. That almost seemed like that was kind of like a big turning point where the brakes got hit on the beast, and the beauty with the beast kind of came out of it. It wasn't just the beauty, it wasn't just the beast. It was kind of like you said, the harnessing of both. And now you got the Tortured Souls on their own path. Kevin Coe is on his own path. Do you think that maybe they tried to intimidate you and tried to bring you into their ranks so much that in turn that sent Kevin Coe in a different direction for the Rocky Mountain Pro title, Bravo and Vito on their own side, and now you on this road to redemption? Like, can you go back and kind of point at anything and kind of just see? I know you said there was a time when like it was the fans that just refused to give up on you, but was there a time when Remy D decided to not give up on Remy D?
Did you see what happened to him at Milestone a couple years ago?
Yes, and I want to hear it in his words.
Considering you
because
stole my
that's
question
important.
anyway.
Sorry, I lost my question in the first one too. I had to adapt and improvise and overcome. So Buzz Lightyear, just go do it. So was there a time when Remy D decided that this was the end of that and what I want to go forward? I want this, Remy. This is it. Was there a moment, or was it just kind of a collection of situations?
I say the moment probably when on my very rare off time when I did go back home to Detroit to spend some time with my mom, and you know, we tell each other everything, and she
Yep.
was aware of the things that we're going through professionally and personally. And the biggest thing we took away from our conversation was she's always taught me to never forget who you are. You are the child that I raised, who I've instilled strength, determination, loyalty, focus. And sometimes life throws you all types of curveballs that we don't see are coming, but you deal with it. You grieve if you have to. You go through it. It's okay to be down a little bit. It's okay to be uh, sad or whatever feelings that you're feeling, but don't stay there. Don't wallow in it. Allow it to feel. Fortunately for me, like I said, my lasted a year. I wallowed and allowed vengeance to operate my life for that long. But having when I went home and had that conversation with her, and I got back on the plane to come back to Colorado, it changed my perspective. It really did, because I know that translate not just the personal life but professional life. How I carry myself in the locker room, how I'm making myself available to be there with the ring production, with everything to wrestle as many times as needed to keep this ship going. So that was my focus. That's the reason why I started wrestling. That's the reason why I started RMP, going back to the basics and remembering those values, those core values of who I am as a person, as a character, as a wrestler, as an athlete, all those labels. But yeah, shout out to Mom. She got to me.
You got to love Ma Dukes. Ma Dukes got a way of giving it to you straight that makes you really just kind of understand it and taking advantage of what you got to do. Mom knows.
And it doesn't matter how old you get. There's something about a mom's encouragement, how they verbally whip you, that snaps you right, like gets you together very quickly.
It's true.
Especially a black mama. Yes.
I've witnessed that where I grew up, and some of my friends got talked to a lot different than I did, and I was just like, I'm not going to make her mad. Don't make her mad. No. Nope.
Do it, don't do it. Make a
Don't
green
you-
choice. No,
you-
make a green
you will
choice. Don't make
regret
a red choice.
That's right.
Jack McCready over on Twitch. Shout out to moms.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of Jack and all these guys, Remy, you've been around for about 4 years now. You've kind of seen a lot of people come up to the ranks and a lot of people fade away to obscurity at times. Who do you got your eye on in this new crop of young talent that's working its way through the Mercury Pro Wrestling Academy and all the way to now having matches on Charge?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Jack McCready. I just faced him a couple of episodes ago. Dude can go, and he's putting in the work. You can see by when he first debuted. Even look at his physique. Like he's lean as hell now. Like you can see all the definition. He's in the gym. He's at training. He's always in the production truck helping where he can. Um, he's a cool dude. He can be kind of douchey sometimes, but I mean, I'll give him his
Yeah, we
credit.
all from time to time.
Yeah.
You know,
At least he's not a douche canoe. That's like the mecca of
fact.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you're talking
But
about
no,
Eric Reyes at that
yeah,
point as
love
well.
that
he takes what he does seriously, and he genuinely wants to get better. Like every single time, he wants to get better, and I can't do anything but respect that. Um, Look how far the leaps and bounds cease and desist have come. I mean, a year ago I was beating the hell out of both of them, literally every single week, and now they're tag champs. I mean, their work speaks for themselves. Maybe a little my bad side probably rubbed off on them. That's why they're acting like toddlers right now. But who knows? Izzy O'Reilly. Keep an eye out for her. Keep an eye out for her. Just give her time. Let her cook. Let her cook. And even so, like you can see we have a lot of new talent from out of town that's coming in. Very talented, like very robust. So that's giving a lot of new challenges for us on the home base to continue to grow too. Not wrestling someone not familiar with their style. So that helps us get better in turn.
Remy, do you have a Twitch up by any chance?
I can.
Because there is a comment in chat that I think you should read.
I ain't gotta cuss nobody out tonight, do I?
No.
No.
Okay.
Right.
So let the beast come out on this stream right
yeah,
now.
no. We're just trying to keep it wrestling orientated, but Hunter Dillon definitely had some nice things to say about you. So.
Bruce Wayne says, "Hey there, gorgeous." Boss man in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, Bossy.
McCready, shout out to Remy D, my mom's favorite wrestler.
That isn't her son.
But then in quotes, that isn't her son.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. You want me to read it or just read it right quick and then answer it?
You can answer it if you want, yeah.
Thank you, Hunter. That means
Very
a
nice.
lot, dude. I appreciate that. I never, you can ask anyone this, when I started this, even my other career, it was never to be labeled an icon or a legend, or I always wanted to do the very best that I could. And all the leaps and bounds and trials and tribulations I had to go through to get here, I always want to try to make it easier for another person or another wrestler coming into the business so they didn't have to go through all the barriers that I did. And you get kind of caught up in outside stimuli stuff that's going around our world and everything, but at the end of the day, I'm able to go home and go to sleep with a good conscience, with a clean conscience, because I know I do the very best that I can to motivate, to empower, to encourage people. Just setting the example. Representation matters, like across the board for everything. And I'm thankful that people see that. I don't have to say it; they can just see me exude that type of positive energy. So thank you. I appreciate, because sometimes I feel, contrary to popular belief, I feel kind of left. I feel not left out, but I feel kind of forgotten about when it comes to certain conversations. But I do appreciate that, though. It means a lot.
You you mentioned you feel left out of conversation, so I kind of had a thought and a question. You don't want to be an icon, but the legacy you leave, what do you want people to remember Remy D for when it's all said and done? Like, what is the lasting impact you want to leave on the ring?
I was so along the lines of, and it's actually paraphrasing a famous line. They may not remember the gear I wore, how many rhinestones I did, how many rolling thunder thighs I did when I did who I faced, but they remember each and every time how I left them feeling.
I like
That's
that.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Because that's what you remember more so at the end of it than the different moves or whatever. It was the story. It was the way you conducted yourself, the way you did it. That makes complete sense. I love that.
Because all I want is at the end of the day, they're like, you know what, Remy was built different. There was something different about him.
Mhm.
I don't know what it was, but something was different about that dude.
Mhm.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to piggyback off that, so the first time I ever met you, Remy, was at training. You were just a week into training, and I was just coming back into Rocky Mountain Pro. I took about a year off, and this was when we were up at Fast, I believe, and you you were asked to cut a promo or do an interview with me, and I just remember you just blowing me away with your charisma, your personality, and that moment, just you doing that little interview, I knew there was a star being born. I just right then, you hadn't even been doing this for a week, and I knew there was a star. And for me to come back after a year, I didn't know what I was getting into, and uh, you know, what kind of new talent. I will say that you were doing that interview. I knew, I was like, oh yeah, this is right. I'm coming back to an absolute star. But the question I have though is looking back at that moment in your training, and I know you went through a hell of a time with your injury and battle back. How would you evaluate your career from for these last 4 years? How would you evaluate how it's went? I know you're not at the end game where you want to be right now, but these last 4 years, how would you evaluate how far you've come along?
I think it's been a marathon, not a sprint. Like it's been a very steady pace every single year. There have been some ups, obviously, but then there were a lot of downs, especially after I lost the title. Because like going back when you said about my promo, a lot of people, and then probably even to this day, a lot of people didn't know that I started at R&P when I cut that promo. 5 days before that, I just buried my dad, so I didn't want any type of pity, sympathy. I wanted to go in with that raw emotion, and
Yep.
that all that came from the gut, came from deep. And I didn't know how the pacing goes. I just wanted to let it all out. So it's ever since then he's been like my inspiration to continue doing this. And I went through with the triumphant. That was a learning thing, learning from Sabrino and Rochelle Riveter. Then having to be by myself, taking those teachings, and the next year going into 2022, and then winning the Charge title, and then that's a whole nother beast, becoming a champion, because as you see, it's a workhorse championship, and facing all these various guys, going through all these different storylines. And there was that dip, because I allowed myself, once I lost the title, it's like, who is Remy? I thought who I was a title, but I needed a title to be validated. And so I kind of got lost in obscurity a little bit with storylines, with even my wrestling thing, my just how it was working. I mean, it looked good on camera, but I know I wasn't giving my very best. um and just things happen, life happens. Even like this last year where I had to change my style a little bit, slow everything down. I was dealing with a knee injury. I was trying to rehab it because I didn't want surgery to get, that'll take me out. So figuring out a different way to move slower, make everything not as flashy, don't take those calculated risks when it's not necessary. So it's been a marathon, but I've been pacing myself, and now I feel confident. And I'm ready for the next, like I said earlier, the next mountain to climb, the next Mount Everest in the company to climb.
Not Everest has gold around its waist at this moment in time, or is it just wherever the next challenge that takes Remy D, because you've shown amazing versatility, regardless of whether you've been favorable, unfavorable, whatever your mindset has been. You've shown one thing, that you have that same instinct that, well, you display the same instincts that other great champions have, like Koyama and guys like Severino Corrente, the charge champions, the be able to improvise and be able to figure it out right now. Whether the means or whatever they are, they have to justify what you have to do, which is win. But one of the things you've been is the most versatile, but you've also been taken advantage of quite a bit. So through the years, we can kind of understand how it made sense to kind of go and understand that D'Lo was on your side and be able to do these things. And then at the end point, how it had to separate and where you go. The Remy D from 5 years from now will look back on this conversation. And what will he say to you if he saw you tomorrow? The Remy from 5 years from now. What would he say to you tomorrow to get you to that 5-year point? I know that's an awkward one. That's kind of on the side, but that was something my dad used to always preach to me, that what would yourself from 5 years from now come back and tell you about how to be better 5 years from now? Where's that end goal Remy's looking for?
I'll say to be successful, to be happy, to be comfortable. If it's in the universe's cards, to be signed to a big company. If not, finding my purpose in life, to help others, to continue encouraging each other. Just knowing at the end of the day that I did my very best to put my best foot forward each and every day, even when I didn't want to, even when I had an attitude, or when I was going through depression, I still got up and did the very best that I could. And I didn't have any shoulda, coulda, wouldas when I laid my head on my pillow at night. So I would say 5 years from now, I'd say, good job for hanging in there, kid. It wasn't easy, but it was doable.
That's exactly where it's at right there.
Yeah. I sound like a human fortune cookie tonight. It's weird.
No, but you're making a lot of sense. You make it, and it's nice to talk to this Remy that can see this and make this sense, because for a long time we couldn't. So it's just good to have this guy back at this point in time and seeing where you're going and moving forward. And honestly, wishing nothing but the best for you, because I remember when you almost kicked my head off after Milestone the other year. And it's just good to see that we all back in the same room. I know it was an accident. Casanova pulled me in front of you. But like, bro, it's just good to hear that you on the right path and moving forward, because I don't want you to kick my head in again, man. You kicked me about 4 feet across the ring. So it's just good to hear you in a better place.
You almost got that 12 and a half shoot right there. Thankfully.
It was so close. That little weasel Casanova did it too, that little bastard. But anyway, I digress. No, that was a good answer. And I honestly hope you find every bit of that, because I think every one of us deserves that to a point. We deserve to get out of it everything that we put into it. And you put in max input into it, and there should be a semblance of max output. And I only hope you get there, bro. I really hope you get there.
Thank you, Maki.
Anytime, homie.
And you're a hell of a lot sweeter than a fortune cookie, too.
Godiva chocolate's way sweeter than a fortune cookie.
You're way sweeter than a fortune cookie.
Damn, Godiva chocolate's good. He said, "Oh, stop it."
All right, fellas. Anything else?
Nah, it's just been good to have the man here answering some questions, and just it's good to see you in this, because I think this is your best, Remy, and I think that you do better going forward with yourself. You seem to have a more open mind, but you also seem to take more business seriously, because now there's this maturity level. And just, can you deal with this Anaya problem for us, so the rest of us can just kind of get past this stuff, because this guy's just adding more pepper to a thing that didn't require any spice. So just handle your business
whatsoever. We'll figure it out. We will, like I said, it's a daily walking thing. We will figure it out. I just need him to mind the business that pays him. Just keep poking me. I'm just saying. Just
poke is a button on Facebook. when you do it in real life, there is some consequences.
You still poke people on Facebook, Marky?
I don't, but I got poked today by a friend of mine, so it actually came up, and I went, "Wow, that's still a thing." And yeah, it is. No, I was never one of those dudes that like pushed the poke button.
Yeah,
Wait,
no,
how
it's
old?
okay.
How old
Code
are they?
between me and my wife. Okay, that had nothing to do with Facebook. But no,
How old is
good
your
for,
friend?
huh?
How old is your
He's
friend?
he's an older fella. He
Upset.
doesn't quite, yeah, he doesn't quite understand Facebook, and he thinks
Yeah.
that's how you kind of say hi to people, and it's okay. It's okay.
Poking was in when it first came out when it was called the Facebook.
Remember the Facebook? Yeah.
And you had to have a college account, a college email to be able to register for it when it first
Yes.
came out.
That is
Yeah.
that is how old my Facebook is. I got it the first year it came out.
And the
We're
poke
right
button
here,
is
Coach.
still
We're right-
there for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
All right, so the next 10 minutes or so, we'll leave it up to chat. Post your questions in chat. I will try and get through as much as I can while we still have time left. And while we're waiting, I got a quick one for Remy to kind of pass the time here. Remy, you
Yeah.
came up with Severino Corrente and Rochelle Riveter when you made your debuts here at RMP officially. Do you ever
We
read?
were there.
Yeah, we
that
were there.
October. We were there.
I won't talk about it any further from there, but we were there.
Either of us. Worse for you, but it wasn't a good night for any of the dudes. No.
Do you still keep in touch for advice or anything like that with Severino and Rochelle?
I do. Sometimes Rochelle does have gigs in Colorado here, and I try to go visit her whenever I can when she's on the match card. And even when she's just in town, just hanging, we always reconnect. We're literally like brother and sister. Like what you saw on screen wasn't like manufactured. It was legit chemistry, the love and respect we have for one another. And I'm always there for her. She's always there for me. Sereno, he's straight to the point Italian FDA beef. He'll give you like a little side comment insult and keep it pushing. So that's what I'm accustomed to with the King of Charge. But they're awesome people. Whenever I need them, I know they're always there.
What was that like when Severino stopped back into town a bunch of months ago when he came back and was kind of putting himself in the ring again? What was that like to be kind of back in the same locker room and seeing him?
Post your questions, YouTube as well.
Oh,
Go
wow.
ahead
You
and
know,
put them
we
in the
did
chat.
a quick little face to face backstage. We ran past each other.
Yeah.
And he gave me he looked me up and down and gave me a little. That was all I needed. That was all I needed to have his validation. And that's not discrediting anyone else's approval, but to have his, because I know the amount of hours and time he spent training me, to have that approval, I couldn't tell me nothing.
All right, we do have one so far from Hunter Dillon 95, past or present. What would your dream opponent be? And who would you most want to be standing across from? Okay. Who would you most want to be standing across from in that 16 by 16 ring? Which I think that ring is bigger than
They use an 18.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
use
we're an
18.
18 by 18.
I'll always have to say Taker. Probably even more so in his American Badass era, because I know he was able to talk a lot more, and then our banter back and forth would be cinema. Trust me, it would be great.
I agree with that. Yes.
Yeah. Because he had some bars back during that era, if people remember. If they paid
Oh,
attention.
yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
he
he
did.
did.
Yeah. They gave him a microphone and they said, just don't swear.
Yeah.
And how that worked out for him.
Savage.
Yeah, right.
He's still wrestling part-time. I don't even know if it's part-time, but every occasionally. I would love to mix it up with RVD. I would love that.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, my. Yes.
And see who has the better Rolling Thunder.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. All right, we got one from Bruce Wayne's over
Big
there
one
on
from Lost Man in the
YouTube.
chat.
Remy
This is
D.
Inquiring minds.
Remy D. What's your favorite color?
That's a Bruce Wayne's question.
Yes, it is.
It is. Black.
That's Bruce Wayne's.
And there's a reason because especially like black pants or black shirt, you can wear it for so long because no one can tell if it's dirty or it's clean, only unless they smell it. So you can get a good
Bro,
like
straight
3,
up.
4 days. Put some Febreze on it. They never know. How would they know?
Don't know. They'll never know.
They'll
They'll
never
never know. They'll never know.
Yeah.
All right, we got one from the Jack McCready.
Oh, good. This is a Jack McCready question. Yeah, this is, and yes.
Is this comment of the week material, as we typically give it to him?
Well, it's witty comment of the week, definitely. Oh, and the young man having a glass of red while he's sitting there. My favorite.
Antioxidants.
There you
I'm
go.
So
telling you.
good.
I'm telling you. Right.
My favorite.
How do I
I
achieve?
love a good Pinot Noir, Marky.
How do I achieve
What's
a
up?
chiseled jawline like yours? Is it genetics, or do you do lots of chin-ups?
He was asking about my jawline.
He said, "How do I get a chiseled jawline like yours? Is it genetics, or do you just do a lot of chin-ups?" That's a Jack McCready question.
I don't know.
Is
I
it
don't
just me?
know.
Remy, is it just me, or have we heard a lot about chiseled jawlines over the weekend? Because weren't we having this
Oh my-
conversation? Yeah.
So we
Did we
we
miss
just had
something?
a
Is
show,
this a
we had
thing?
a show today at the Denver Mile High Flea Market, and some random chick, like in the front row, I was fighting someone, and she's like, "Yeah, hit cheekbones," and I'm like,
Hit him with your chin
"You know,
bones.
with my
Yeah,
cheekbones,"
cheekbones.
but I'm like, does that mean I have good cheekbones? I don't know. What people are weird. Fans are weird sometimes. I don't know, but
Yeah, they are.
I've been getting a lot since I've come back as Beauty Remy. I've been getting a lot of like weird comments about like, yeah. I don't know. Story of my life. People don't know what to do with
Jack-
me when they see me.
So I guess the moral of the story is McCready just needs to keep doing chin-ups until it works. I guess.
I mean, I honestly don't know because I was a fat kid, so for a long time I didn't have a jaw. It was just like there.
Yeah.
This girl live life a little longer, kid. Maybe you'll hit your second puberty again. I don't know.
Things happen.
All right. How was the new guy you wrestled yesterday? I want to chop that sucker.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Steven.
Stephen Bradley. Yes.
Yeah, you got to say it like the cable guy way. Steven.
Steven.
He was cool. No, he was a good, awesome worker. Very good worker. I think he misjudged the power of the altitude here in the Mile High, so he got pretty winded very quickly. So yeah, but no, he was cool to work with. Another out of towner.
Almost as pretty as you too. Not quite as pretty as you, but pretty guy.
I think it was no, Lucas. I'm very professional when I'm wrestling. I wasn't looking at his attractiveness.
Well, he's a model. He went out of his way to tell me he was a model. So
He did, and he added me on Instagram, and it was like, and then he started liking my stuff, and then I liked a couple of his. I'm like, yeah, you know how to pose. You definitely do. I think he's like 22 or something. Yeah, made me feel old. He's like,
he's a
young man.
he's a young feller.
yeah.
As of right now, that is it for questions. As of right now, we got a couple minutes left. But before we go, of course, Lucas, and if Rami wants to hop in and do a little bit of self-promoting for RMP, obviously more than welcome to. Lucas, what do you got coming up this week?
Yeah, another busy weekend coming up as we've got Summit Tacos coming up on the 4th. So Saturday. That's actually all we have for this coming weekend. So we're going to ease ourselves into October because then that second week of October, Remy, you know, it's going to be extremely busy coming up that second week of October.
No, I'm carving up now.
Yeah.
And of course, we will be back with Recharge next Sunday along with the Rewind. Once again, we will be starting a New Year's Revolution in 2016. And also, we do have, as I said earlier tonight, we do have Marcio Santos scheduled for October 19th. So a couple weeks from now. So that should be an interesting one. I'm sure a lot of these dudes over here have a lot of questions to ask him.
You had any run-ins with Masio on the side? Anything that maybe boils over, or are you guys in that professional distance with each other at any point in time? Because seems like everybody has their eye on that RMP championship. Masio did. He's almost sold his soul to get it.
Yeah. We'll see. As you can, I was say a couple of weeks ago when we had the tag match when I was with Anaya, you saw us mix it up a little bit. That was
Yup.
just a little appetizer. Everyone thought because as big of a powerhouse as he is, I think everyone expected us to mix it up and he was going to take over very quickly. But I am the remedy. I find a way. And so we really didn't even scratch the surface. So that's something that I think we definitely should revisit at some point in time.
I'm here for that.
How is your standing
Yeah.
with D'Lo and Mercury nowadays? Now that everything has kind of ran its course to an extent.
I haven't really seen them. D'Lo is busy being the ad man again. And then Mercury, he's with Marty now. They're doing their thing. So I just kind of, like I said, I show up, I show out, mind my business, pack my bag, and I leave. But it's all good. We're all good. With us, I've noticed that a lot of words don't need to be said. Like you said before, Marky, between me and Yaten, that respect, that love, that admiration outweighs anything that I was going through. And like I said, it always goes back. He was the one that took me to the hospital when I got hurt. So there's nothing that could replace that. It'll always go back to that. So
You could tell that there is a respect and an admiration there that's more than just, yeah, he's my bud. You could tell that there's more there. That's
yeah.
important.
How many?
But I will say before we go, I want to thank each and every one of you guys first and foremost because not obviously you guys have been there since the beginning of my career, but you guys are here as much as you can every single week, and I know you guys have wives and spouses and jobs and kids, but you still show up for us. And I know I don't like to speak for other people, but I would think that our roster is also very thankful for you guys because you don't have to do this at all, but you choose to. And I, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you, all you guys, Coastal, Maki, Lucas, Johnny. Like, thank you. Even the old school boys who used to be on the show. Just thank you for supporting us and getting us out there it's not metaverse. What do you call it? The whatever.
I have no
The
idea anymore.
Weberverse,
I have no
the
idea.
The
everywhere
interwebs,
else.
the interwebs, yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Rob.
No,
But
but
I
thank
know,
you,
I
bro.
know
That
it
means
is.
a
I know,
lot. Thank you.
yeah, I know sacrificing your time with your loved ones. I know all about that, and that's what you guys do. You could be asleep or watching TV with them now. So, but just thank you, thank you.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
I might have
Thank
to add. Well, now that you mention, I might have to add that Triple I and Remy clip in the video that I'm trying to put together for the 200th episode
saved in
of
my phone.
Recharge.
You have to. No, that's one of the marquee moments of hilarity on Dudes and Bells. So no,
When he broke me.
Oh, he broke
Did.
you hard, yeah. Yeah,
he
no.
broke everybody.
Very
No,
bad.
honestly, dude, he broke everybody that came on this show, and
He broke Damon.
He did.
Yep.
He
He
broke
did
Damon.
break
did.
Damon. He did break Damon.
Yeah.
Damon will never admit to it, but we got video that says he did.
We have receipts.
Dudes and best. Thank you, Bossy. Damn, yo, appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yep, we are along for the ride. We have been for almost 5 years now, if you can believe it. So
That's crazy. Where does time go?
no idea. No
Time
idea.
goes gray, bro. Time goes
Very much so. Yes.
And we will be
But
so.
listen,
It's
you
good for-
guys'
it's good
hairlines
for
are
your
still
stuff.
intact. Yeah.
I
your
still got my
hairlines
hair,
are
dude.
still
I'm
intact.
never losing this. I'm
Yeah.
never losing this.
Yeah, the front looks great. We won't talk about tops getting.
No, I got them
minor detail.
Italian
First
jeans
world
where
problem.
we ain't going nowhere.
Yes, we will be celebrating our 200th episode, I believe, a week after Shocktober, I believe. So,
That's the 19th.
is that the
We won't be
19th?
here the 12th.
Oh, yeah. You have Marcio.
So we have Marcio on the 200th.
Are there gonna be balloons involved?
Not if
Cake?
Macio's here. He'll pop them and suck all the helium. He'd be that kid that wouldn't even share.
We'll talk to him. I'll see.
All right.
But other than that, folks, that's gonna wrap everything up. I don't see any other questions there. So we greatly appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, as you guys do every week. And we will see you guys next Sunday for another episode of Recharge and the Rewind. We will do a rewind next week. And yeah, tune in on Thursday for another premiere episode 466 of Rocky Mountain Pro Charge over on youtube.com/RMP Wrestling. For myself, Johnny Deathdrop, Coast Crusader, Marky Pins, Lucas Bradwell, and the former Charge champion himself, Remy D. We will see you. We will see you guys next week. As always, folks, stay safe, stay classy. We'll see you on the next one.